Okay, good morning, everybody. This is Dawn Mountain Sunday Meditation. My name is Kaisu, and I will be leading the meditation today. And as always, you're warmly welcome, and we're going to begin by our aspirations and Shantideva verse, which hopefully everybody has. You can find them on our website. All right. May all beings always have happiness and its causes. May all beings always be free of pain and its causes. May all beings always be pain-free and live happily. May no beings ever cling to those near nor spurn those far. For as long as space abides, as long as the world remains, just so long may I be there, resolving all beings' pain. And I'm going to invite you to start settling to our meditation this morning or evening. We're broadcasting from Houston, Texas, and Sheffield, England. And I'm just gonna invite you to feel into your seat, wherever, if you're seated on a chair, on a floor, cushion, bed, and just let us feel into the weightedness of our body, just to arrive in the same space that we're sharing, and yet still in our own private spaces as well. So you can feel your feet on the floor. If possible, keep them flat on the floor. Or if you're cross-legged, just feel how your leg can rest. Kind of trust that the floor is carrying us, it's supporting us. And underneath the floor, there's the earth, which is ultimately physically supporting us. And I'm having my eyes gently closed, and you're welcome to do that as well. Just keep them very softly, whether they're slightly open or closed. Just keep them soft. And if you're having your gaze a little bit open, just gazing downward, not really focusing on anything. Just kind of letting the eyelids gently rest. And if you're, depending on whether you're a little bit agitated or hyperactive, you could keep your eyes closed for a little bit. And if you're feeling more sleepy or drowsy, you can slightly open them a little bit more. And let us try and tune into how our spine is at the moment. So can we find a comfortable but upright position and have a kind of a natural curve in our spine? And consider the neck as a part of our spine. So it kind of, by tucking your chin in just a little bit, it helps to kind of let that natural curve to be there. And you can always sway a little bit back and forth, side to side, to find a center point of gravity for yourself. And also during our meditation, it's okay if you want to refresh your posture or you need to slightly move. So we don't want to stiffen up at any point. You can also take a deep breath just to kind of arrive and appreciate your breath. And we're going to tune into our breath a little bit more as we go along. So the Sunday meditation practice, as most of you know, but in case somebody new is watching the recording or through YouTube, consists of two main components, one of which is observation of our breath or process of breathing. And the second component is chanting the sacred syllable Hum. And we alternate between these two modalities. And I'm always going to tell you when we switch into the other one. And as we continue settling, I'm just gonna, as we've been invited to do as Sunday meditation leads, little bit, very briefly, reflect upon the current Dharma exploration series, which was actually just recently completed. So if you haven't had a chance to watch those sessions or recordings, I'm really encouraging you to do that. This current season has been focusing on Buddha nature or Dharma Dhatu, and it was presented by doctors Nathaniel Rich and Renee Ford in a really, really exquisite, fascinating, and also fresh manner. So I am not even doing an attempt to somehow summarize. It's so vast and rich. But I'm just saying something that stood out for me in the last session, which basically I watched yesterday. So this is also very fresh. Might not be super coherent for that reason, but you just listen to this in a meditative manner, maybe poetic manner. But so how Nathaniel and Renee were presenting and discussing Buddha nature in this series, and specifically in the last session, what stood out for me was that it was discussed as a path of recognition. So instead of us performing the role of a mirror cleaner or doing a lot of work to purify whatever might be unveiling our Buddha nature, the focus of this presentation was in recognizing that. And this, of course, sounds, well, it did sound fresh, but it's also deceivingly simple. It's certainly not easy. And I think why this stood out for me this time in my life and practice was that so often I notice that I think in myself there is a specific order of how things, first I need to kind of work through my afflictions, I need to fix them, and then I can start living my Buddha nature. There is an underlying kind of order of events I noticed. And path of recognition not only kind of makes that order more nonlinear, it also does something else, namely, it places the focus on Buddha nature instead of the afflictions. So oftentimes, and let us take, I think I have a kind of for me at least, interesting case of what I thought initially as one of my familiar afflictions, experience of anxiety. It's a very hard one to fix anyway, or remove. Culturally, we're also learned to think, you should get rid of it. While there is another more compassionate way of looking at that. This sounds like a sidetrack, but I try to bring these things together. Anyways, anxiety might not even be really an affliction from a point of view that it is our natural biological survival safety mechanism. The only thing is that it is kind of a false alarm. So it's not really necessary if we're not chased by a tiger, for example. So, but the point of that is, it is demonstrating actually to me that I have a will to live. I have a love of life, if you like. So instead of seeing that as an affliction to be purified or fixed, I can also take it as a sign of love of life. Now, this is just my personal experience. I'm not giving advice, certainly not, but it's just one viewpoint. Anxiety can be looked at through other viewpoints as well, of course. But I started to also, so back to afflictions and how not only we could consider that they don't first need to be removed in order us to see our Buddha nature, but they actually can be functioning as gateways or portals to our Buddha nature. And if I take the panic attack as a case study again here, or example, sometimes, not every time, but sometimes I have had experiences in which the swirl of the hurricane, if you like, it has an eye and it is silent in there. So there is a way that by surrendering to that, actually you will, in a way, be able to tune into that vast sky that is behind the hurricane clouds, winds. And really, again, not just compassionate, but a humorful way to look at it, often accessible only in retrospect, not in the most acute experience, but really if you think of an experience such as panic as a false alarm, it really is like a theater play. So the metaphor of a sky could also be a theater stage of your mind. And sometimes in my mind stage, there's this very convincing performance artist group appearing and displaying this super vivid performance, always with little variation. So you just kind of are tuning into that if you're not paying attention. And then the performance is over, and then something else takes the stage. But in any case, the recognition that there is a stage, there is a sky, but also that I don't first have to somehow get the panic fixed in order to recognize that. It feels like this story needs a good ending. I mean, in a sense of summarizing it, I'm working towards that maybe in my later talks. But I think this was pretty much what I wanted to share as just how do the latest teachings resonate with something quite dramatic, like a panic attack in my experience. So having said this, I'm just gonna invite you to settle, keep settling, and let my words and what was said just fade away. Gently, they kind of dissolve into the space, and we can start our meditation practice in terms of following our process of breathing. And we can just tune into our breath wherever it feels most natural or easy access. And that may be your throat or chest area. And if you're comfortable feeling your breath in your lower belly, you could do that. And it's possible that you follow the movement of the breath in your body, in your torso. And just make a note of that right now. How does it feel to be breathing? We don't have to artificially change that in any way. You can just gently appreciate that. There's really nothing to do about it either. It's just almost as if we are being breathed. So we're just gonna silently paying our attention to our breath for a while. And I'm gonna let you know when we switch into the chanting part. And if you notice that your attention has drifted away at any point, you can just gently bring it back to your breath. It's always there, like a soft anchor, kind of comforting, life nurturing. Like I said, you're welcome to refresh your posture if it feels like you've collapsed a little bit or have stiffened up. And let us gently shift to the chanting aspect of the practice. We're going to chant the sacred syllable Hong twice per each breath, everybody in their own pace, in their own volume that feels comfortable to you. And if you're comfortable, you're also welcome to open your microphone so we can feel the sound field together. May not sound the most aesthetically beautiful. It also may sound the most aesthetically beautiful. To see what speaks to you at this very moment. And we're gonna do that for a couple of minutes. Om, As we're letting the sound fade, let us return to observation of our breath, the process of breathing, also as a activity of connecting with our environment, demonstrating how permeable our body actually is. You can just briefly check whether anything shifted in your experience during and after chanting. Just make a light note of that. And then place your attention gently on your breath. And every time when we notice that we've drifted away in our thoughts, we're just gonna tirelessly and gently guard or bring our attention back into our breath. Very, very gently. Herding butterflies came to mind spontaneously. So super gently, with a very light touch, almost in a light-hearted manner that we noticed we were thinking. And now we're joyful that we can return to our breath again. And even though we're breathing through our nose, let us keep our jaw and face soft and relaxed. That's gonna help us stay relaxed in our whole body. Relaxed and upright. And let us shift into chanting Hung Hung for a few minutes again. Om, Om. Let us return to our breath. Kind of feel if the vibration of your voice did shift anything in your experience in any way. It's a more dynamic form of breath, if you like. Can really sometimes have like a stabilizing function if your breath is somehow shallow, for example. So let us just enjoy the afterglow of our chanting while placing our attention gently back to our breath. And yes, if you meanwhile want to name anybody who is currently facing difficulties of any kind or illness or suffering, you can place their name in the chat, and we're going to dedicate the merit of our practice for their benefit. For people who have recently passed away. Let us chant Hung Hung once more. Om. Let us just settle for a few more minutes to feel the movement that the chanting may have caused in our presence, dynamism, maybe a sense of liveness, sense of being alive. Just you can also tune into whether anything has shifted during this meditation session from when we started. We can just appreciate that we're feeling well enough to be here together, to come together like this. We're allowed to practice together. Really cultivate a sense of presence and appreciation for our experience. It's really precious. Feels very precious to me.
Spicy. A bit more rice.
So we're concluding our meditation practice or this part by gently returning to the room and space we're sitting in, returning to the group of our fellow practitioners. And at this point, we're going to chant our dedication and blessing. And then I'm going to read the names from the chat. So let us dedicate together. By this good may I swiftly once become a great guru, lead all beings, everyone, to reach to that very ground. The blessing. With all of you in mind, we light this lamp of clarity. May the glow of love, wisdom shine within us, everyone, till we all rise forth born in one enlightened mandala. And today we dedicate the merit to all sentient beings, and especially to Sylvia, Rolando, Nathaniel, Emma, Ed, Leah, Patrick, Anna, Mick, and Nancy, people suffering with floods in the Amazon, all native peoples, prayers for all at every level in the Uvalde tragedy, children, parents, police, government, and the perpetrator, Don Cochran, Margaret, Eileen in the Bardo, Nancy Limay, Andy Bartholomew, Lynn Bartholomew, Namvo, Michelle Hunter, NGI, Sharon Jackson and extended family, everyone, Jermaine, health, all suffering beings, all suffering animals, planet Earth. And we're gonna conclude our practice by chanting the sacred syllable Ah together, imagining or visualizing pure white light radiating from the center of our chest to all living beings in our city, in our country, our continent, our planet, and beyond as far as our imagination is willing to go today. Thank you, everybody, for participating, for your presence and energy. I'm so glad to see your faces and so glad to see, I think, two new participants as well, Melissa and Mariano. You're very welcome also to open your cameras if you're comfortable with that. So glad you're here with us. So Emily, did we have announcement at this point?
Yeah, we have a couple of announcements. This Tuesday, we actually have the New Moon of Sagadawa event. Our lamas will lead us in this Tuesday the 31st at 7 p.m. Central Time. This Saturday, we have Adson Gyaltse Rinpoche returning with the Life and Times of Adson Drukpa. That'll be this Saturday, next Saturday from 9 a.m. CST to 11 a.m. CST. We really enjoyed this series when he started it, so we're really excited to have him continue. Sunday the 5th of June is the first Sunday. We'll have a first Sunday teaching with our lamas, as well as our lamas guiding meditation and Dharma conversations, and a green Tara practice to continue our celebrations of Sagadawa. Tuesday the 7th, our new Teaching Tuesday series begins. Wisdom in the Present Moment that will be taught by Harvey and Dent Gitchell and Mark Urowitz.
And Anne.
And Anne. Oh, fabulous. Tuesday, June 14th, we have the full moon of Sagadawa to kind of close out our Sagadawa events, as well as the Sunday 12th. I am all over the place, aren't I? Sunday the 12th, we have another green tar practice. And then Saturday the 18th, we have follow-up meetings as well as mitra meetings and a Lotus Essence practice. So lots coming up, lots to be excited about.
Lots coming up.
Harvey?
So exciting, rich offerings coming up. So wishing everybody happy Sunday, continuation of your Sunday, and looking forward to see you soon.
I'll just say a little word about the wonders of the present moment. We will be doing, the present moment really has opportunities for enhancing our experience and our spirituality, and in particular, the aspects of Buddha nature that we will be looking at are clarity, compassion for self and other, and spaciousness. It will be fun and it will be summer, so look forward to people participating.
Wonderful. Thank you, everybody. Have a good day. See you soon.
Lovely to see everybody, and welcome, Melissa. Welcome, Mariano. Nice to see you.
Thank you, Kaisu. Thank you, Harvey. Thank you, Don Mountain.
Thank you, Joe Mountain. Take
Thank you.
care.